Hello everyone. Today I am here with my July wrap-up. Let's just get right into things. I did a little bit of reading, not terrible. If you did not hear, in June I read half of a book, so I finished that book. The first book I read was Prodigy by Marie Lu. Like I said, I read half of this during June, all of June, and then I finished it finally. After reading Prodigy, I also read Champion by Marie Lu. Okay. I read Prodigy and Champion. Both of these books were the last two books in the Legend trilogy, which I started when I was still in high school, so it's been like quite a while. I really enjoyed them. Overall, I give this series basically 4 stars. I think I gave the first book 5 stars back when I read it, but these last two I gave both of them 4-ish stars. I say ish because the middle one, since it took me so long, I was like wondering if it was the book or if it was me, so I gave it 3.75 to 4 stars because I really couldn't tell. And then the third one, I said like 4, but I also like had not processed anything yet, but I'm thinking like looking back it was a 4. So yeah, I gave them both 4 stars. It basically follows 2 kids, which is one of my issues with it, is the fact that they are 15 and so they are very annoying characters, but they're 15, so like 15-year-olds in real life are annoying. Sorry. It follows 2 15-year-olds. One of them is like a prodigy. She got a perfect score on her trial exam. She's rich. She's like a top-ranking government soldier person. And then the other one is like the world's most wanted criminal, and it basically is a dystopian about America split up into the Republic, which is the West Coast, and then the East Coast, which is the colonies, and they're at war. And one is like a military state, the other one is like hella capitalist. So that was those books. They were entertaining. The dystopian boom is over, as I've found out. So I'm like trying to catch up on some of the ones that I wanted to read back when it was still popular. Yeah, I still enjoyed it. So anyway. That was the Legend series. Then, after that, the booktubeathon was starting when I finished Champion, so I picked up One Week in the Library. This, I went into it, and I was like, oh, like, this will be fun, like, it's about somebody trapped in a library. Then I find out I missed that on the back it said experimental graphic novel, so this was weird. In my Goodreads review, I was like, you know, this book is what I imagine a drug trip to be like. It was very fun, though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm just really confused as to what was happening. I got about halfway through it, I'm like, what is this? Like, what is going on? And then I read the back and I was like, oh, experimental. Makes sense. I don't know, it just kind of questions what fiction is and like, I don't even know. It was very interesting though. I recommend it if you're into existentialism / fictionality. I don't even know how to describe it, but a solid book. I think I gave it 4 stars. I gave it 3.75 stars. Looking back on it, I think it's more of a 4, but it was late at night and I was really confused. Then I read Mara by Veronica Bain. This book is about a girl who can control fire and she's kind of an outcast in the community. It deals a lot with racism in a weird way. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but this is basically following these people who can control different elements and they're being hunted down. And we're not exactly sure why, but there's definitely lots of racism against, like, Native American people. I'm not really sure if they're Native American or not, but they call them the natives, so I just kind of, that's what my brain was picturing. This is really good. There was so much violence, though. It's a very violent book, but I thought it was great. Yeah, I finally read it. It took me so long to read this book because not this time, because I was reading it during the booktubeathon. I read it in one day, but I started this book when I first bought it because I saw like a BuzzFeed article that mentioned it and I was like, yeah, that sounds great, and like the cover was cute, so I bought it. So I started reading it after that. I got about 60 pages in and had to put it down because I was like dealing with a lot of school stuff at the time. Then I picked it up again when I was in college the one semester because I was like, oh, it's like a short one, like I can probably read it. I read 10 pages and then put it down. So the bookmark was still in it when I picked it up this time, and I was like, alright, we're gonna get past this. We're gonna make it through. And we did, and it was really worth it. I gave it 4 stars. Again, after letting that marinate for a little while, I'm thinking it might be more of a 4.5, but I mean, I guess like little sections of it were kind of slow, so maybe that's why it's a 4, but I've been giving a lot of books 4s lately. And the last book that I read was Wonder Woman, Volume 1, Blood. And let me tell you, there was so much blood. Oh my god. I don't know what I was expecting. I think I gave this also 4 stars. So I did end up giving this one 4 stars too. The artwork was pretty good. It's not my favorite, like I said in my review, but it was good. It was very violent. The story was really awesome. I really enjoyed the story. I found myself like really sucked in, especially near the middle. But I think I will pick up the next volume next time I'm buying things, maybe. if I ever have money again. So as a recap, let's see, what did I read during the BookTube-a-thon? So I finished 3 full books, well, 2 graphic novels and 1 book during the BookTube-a-thon, plus half of Champion, plus I started Throne of Glass, which is over there, and I'm about 80 pages into it right now. That was all that I read during the BookTube-a-thon. So as for the challenges that I completed, I read a book in 1 day, which actually ended up being Mara, which is a novel. I exceeded my expectations of just reading a graphic novel in 1 day. Well, I started my hyped book, which was Throne of Glass. Didn't finish it, though. In theory, I bought this book because of its cover, because the title drew me in. Does that count as the cover? Like, it's on the cover. We can kind of count that, right? Also, I do really enjoy the cover of this one. So we can kind of say that I read a book based on its cover. Books with people on the covers, all of these people on the covers. All of these have people on them. Succeeded that one times 3.5. What were the other challenges? Is that about it? So I read the book with the person on the cover. I started my hyped book, so I'm gonna count that as like half of a challenge. I finished a book in 1 day. I read about a character who's very different than me. That was Mara, because she controls fire and I don't. At the same time, Wonder Woman, because she's an Amazon and I'm not. Also this guy, because he's like a figment of somebody's imagination and I don't think I am. That's about all for this month. I'm happy that I did something. I read a couple of books. That's awesome. Where am I at with my... Let's see where I'm at with my yearly challenge while we're here. Shameless plug, if you don't follow me on Goodreads, you should do that. I have my link in my thing. I try to write at least something about every book that I read. I am currently, for the year, at 32 books. My goal is 40. I think I'm gonna make it, because I still have to read stuff next semester coming up, so yeah. I'll be reading a play a week, so that's like, what, 10? Like this video if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and follow me on Goodreads, because I talk about everything that I read. That is all. Bye!